right, welcome to the Jamaica Funk Show. I'm KT, and this is the Jamaica Funk Show. Tonight, we got our host. Everybody's in the house tonight. Christos is in the house. Joe is in the house. And I'm KT. I'm in the house. Guys, say hi to everybody.
Hello, people.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Facebook. So, tonight we got a great show.
We're simulcasting live on Spreaker.com. And so if you want to join in the conversation, our chat box is open.
Yes.
Just go to www.spreaker.com and look for Jamaica Funk Show.
Yeah. And also, we want to send a shout out to the people in England for the bombing that occurred on Tuesday night, I believe it was.
At the Ariana Grande concert.
Yes, at the Ariana Grande
Prayers
concert.
of comfort to everyone involved, especially mothers and fathers.
Yes, yes. We send our condolences out to each and every family that experienced loss or hurt or just the terror of being in that type of situation.
Well, we shouldn't be in any situation like that, God forbid. But we should not put other people in their situation too.
True.
Yeah.
But every action has a reaction.
And let's hope there's not a whole lot of reaction. Well, right now, we just want to send out our most sincere prayers and condolences and comfort to all the families involved. And we just want them to know that we stand in solidarity because we are also Jamaica Funk Show against terrorism of any kind, in any source, in any fashion.
In any part of the world.
Exactly.
That's right.
So tonight we got a great show for you. We got Fracking.
Yes.
And what else do we have, Joe?
Civil liberties for black people and white people.
I like that. I like that. Oh, baby. I can't wait for that.
And Christos has...
What do you got, Christos?
Oh, tonight I have why ladies are gaining weight after they get married. It will be
I know y'all got something to say about that because, that's like really...
That's deep.
He likes to start shit. Let's just be real clear about that.
Really.
And that's just how Christos rolls.
And the other thing is, what this lady did with her cell phone, because she had an affair, and what she did to the her cell phone, so nobody could detect that she had a outside the marital, whatever they call it,
relationships.
She
had more than one relationship.
She had a relationship outside the marriage, and what she did to her cell phone, when the other guy called, nobody knew that it was him. So I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, because we're going to need him to explain that.
That's a hot button subject, people. Let's let y'all know.
As why do ladies gain weight after getting married? I know we're going to make him explain that one.
That's bigger than a hot button.
Yes, it is. So anyways, guys, we're going to take a break. We're going to play some music on the radio, and then we're going to come back here to Facebook Live and start the conversation. Well, Iron.
Hold on to that. Don't.
Me have to tell you, say me am a don't find a party day. You really look good, me say. I'm have to receive your love one day. Yeah, why you? I'm love you. No gyal at all, me no put above you. Me love it when me touch you. Me never see a gyal when me love so. Turn on so, back it up, yeah. Take time now. Body no tough, yeah. Turn back around now. Me wanna see your face. Looking at me eye, yeah. Me have to tell you, say me am a don't find a party day. You really look good, me say. I'm have to receive your love one day. Me never see a girl pretty so from me born. She make me take off the boots, me a born. She turned me on from dusk till dawn. Turn on so, back it up, yeah. Take time now, body not tough, yeah. Turn back around now, me wanna see your face. Looking at me eye, yeah. I fi tell you, say, me and my don't find a body day. You really look good, me say. I'm happy to receive your love one day. Yeah, why you? I love you. No gyal at all, me no put above you. Me love it when me touch you. Me never see a gyal when me love so. Turn on so, back it up, yeah. Take time now, body not tough, yeah. Turn back around now, me wanna see your face. Looking at me eye, yeah. Looking at me, yeah. See how it works. Logo the piranha, brawling with the chrome 4-4 revolver. Fat rubber grip make the angle broader. Dark man a squeeze pan the trigger little harder. Use finger play man run them out faster. Chrome hammer kicker musty tula musty passa. 4-4 caliber them high and balia. The governor a open your head pan the plaza. Big tree shoot up some rifle when marker. Bad man no afraid and no crime stop caller. Bad man no bar with no boy for your talker. Bumbo hold dead from your distant brother. Shoot up your corner dash with hot water. People a ball a hawks with that call for. Jenna and Ram start fuck your fat daughter. And from a beer tough chat them a offer. Man just look at the piranha. Sting a man them. Look at the piranha. Brawling. Look at the piranha. Wall them a kill when we. Look at the piranha. Look at the piranha. Look at the piranha. Look at the piranha. 4 generation. Look at the piranha. Copy and sting them. Look at the piranha. Zombie a walk with the Kalishnikov. Planting the clip, then a clip no banana. Broke down the back, get the SP shorter. Bust me gun sweet when the chick a little softer. And man no love party, man no flosser. Anytime when people say the piranha, them know somebody a drop and a go under. Bad man no coward like big pussy Sarah. Bad man bust head and make it fly farther. Jungle is ready from Jenna to the harder. With some fresh irons off of the harbor. Boy get kidnapped, tie up and torture. Melt up your skin, pussy be the fire starcher. Make step anywhere you tall, yo dog. Broad your light now, fi pay till the darker. Man just look at the piranha. Sting a man them. Look at the piranha. Brawling. Look at the piranha. Wall them a kill when we. Look at the piranha. Look at the piranha. Look at the piranha. Look at the piranha. 4 generation. Look at the piranha. Copy and sting them. Look at the piranha. Sting a man them. Look at the piranha. Brawling. Look at the piranha. Wall them a kill when we. Look at the piranha. Look at the piranha. Look at the piranha. Look at the piranha. 4 generation. Look at the piranha. Yo, see that them's a piece. I never will. She do ya what them a pre. DJ. All when them dreams say them bad yo. Not even at them sleep them nobody know. Mark 90 beat make the pussy watch him little brother mar up on the street and them's a piece. When them hear the 50 calibers and them no hear the thing them way antique like the Charlie boss. Make the link and make the gristle from T-Valley boss. Them they think they link them from Rivali bro. Blood pull up the car, pull out the seat. When the rifle, pull out your seat. All when police, pull up the street. Inspector, pull up the jeep, and send off a do it. Him fuck, when Martin, pretty much the pussy, blood up the sheet. Yeah, make trigger finger just a click like David play the piano. And if you run under your woman, under them, it can't go. Then him the cop and no left the lead and the yellow. He clap Coffee jelly chop and watch him live, go ahead and spin and go. DJ, you see all when them dreams say them bad we up. Not even not them sleep, them nobody know. Mark 19 beat, make the pussy watch him little brother marry up on the street. To blood, them say peace when them hear the 50 calibers. No hear the thing, them way antique like the Charlie boss. Make the link and make the grizzle from the valley boss. Them they think they link them from Rivali, bro. Call up to the tongues and tell them for rent a vehicle fee. Call up on them ends in the BM for seat, my seat. Cause anyway me buck him up and that's how people scream. All of the brawling sun, thugs a bleach and face a bleach to see. Shoot past sight, mama get the news past Skype. Say I wash belly, you'd ground fly. You don't try, cause number one a loose ball tight. Tell the sake I put the fool pan ice. DJ, you see all when them dreams say them body up. Not even all them dreams them nobody know. Mark 19 beat, make the pussy watch him little brother marry up on the street to blood. Them say peace when them hear the 50 calibers. And them no hear the thing, them way antique like the Jolly boss. Make the liquor, make the grizzle from the valley boss. Them they hear the pull up the car, pull out the seat. Rifle, pull out the seat. Police, pull up the street. Inspector, pull up the jeep. Pass enough for doing it. Fuck when Martin, ready more the pussy, blood up a sheet. Make sure the finger just a click like David play the piano. And if you run under your mama, under them, make you go. Tell him the cap on us, hear the lead and the hollow. Coffee jelly chopper. Let us spin and go. All when them cheats say them bad we up. Not even not them sleep, them nobody know. Mark 19 beat, make the pussy watch him little brother marry up on the street. DJ.
Thought I could live without you. Thought everything would be fine. I saw nothing special about you, but still you were plaguing my mind. I used to take you for granted. You were the last name in my life. Presently you're the most wanted at the top of my line. And it was yesterday I saw you down the lane. You and my best friend. My heart felt the pain. And now I'm falling in love all over again. Yeah.
So guys, we're back live on the radio, and we're talking about fracking. So we were talking about an incident that occurred in California, where this electric company called PG&E Electric Company, contaminated the water and the land, and many people wound up with cancer. They wound up dying. The water was contaminated. They couldn't even drink the water. And they wound up suing them, and they wound up getting a large sum of money. Like some people got $5 million, some people got $3 million. So what we're saying is, if they paid that any attention, if these people in 2008 coming forward, what's going on here with this company called Castor Oil and Gas?
Is it Castor?
Yeah, I think it's Castor Oil and Gas.
Now, which California? The one in
California in the USA.
The one in the United States. That's
That's
the one
California. I thought they meant
Yeah.
Ecuador. Why can they do
Yeah,
this in
it's
the United
not
States
Castor.
of America?
It's Cobalt. It's Cobalt Oil and Gas. They have been knocking on people's door.
Cabot. C-A-B-O-T.
Yeah, it could be Cobalt too, because some people spell it that way. But Cabot Oil and Gas, as Joe said. Anyways, we're talking about this company and how they sucker punch these people into giving up. First of all, they're allowing them to come on their land and do this drilling, not really explaining to them the process and what was going to happen as a result of them allowing them to drill. And they only paid them $2,500 to do this drilling initially. Plus, they give them royalty rights for each well that they drill. So, anyways, as I was saying, this lady put a match underneath her faucet, and it lit like, it just blazed. Okay, and there are pictures of it in the back here. where they lit the faucets and the faucets just blazed up.
First of all, why don't they pay him and leave the house completely? Get him out of there completely. Buy a house somewhere else.
It's false pretenses, is what it is. It's false pretenses. They had these people under the impression that this is a problem. We don't really want you to talk about it because it's just a small problem, and we'll fix it and we'll give you some money, and then as long as you don't say nothing about it, it'll go away.
Well, what about now that these people start talking?
But they can't talk.
Because
why they talk now?
The problem is that they've signed non-disclosure. So what happened was, once they started complaining to the people from Cabot, thank you. Once they started complaining to the people from Cabot about what was going on, their health and water and all of that, then they said, well, we'll give you water purifiers. They gave them water purifiers.
Sound familiar?
And they gave them, some of the people probably even got money, okay? And they probably paid their medical bills. And they but wait a minute, in order for them to get those benefits, which aren't benefits to me or you, but in order for them to get it, they had to sign a non-disclosure letter, which means that they cannot sue them.
Oh my!
They
God.
cannot go into court if they do like
they can't do interviews. They can't go and
they can't
do
talk.
anything.
It's a gag order,
right,
basically.
Right.
It's a gag order.
Why don't they say that the gag order and they say it's a recliner seat?
Huh?
Speaker, say that again.
Why they call it disclosure and they don't call it what it is, gag?
Well, of course we'll call it a gag order, but they call it
okay. So
that's just legalese. It's legalese. It's basically
the reason why they call it a non-disclosure, because you stupid.
That's why it sounds better.
You're stupid, and you're going to sign this thing, not really realizing that I have put glue between your lips, and now you can't open them. You can't tell on me. You can't, if you get sick and die, your family can't sue me, because what you did is said that because you gave me blah, blah.
And you're basically, when the person does that, they're literally signing off on what these people are doing.
Their rights.
It's the same thing as the women who want to step up and accuse Bill Cosby of doing things. They sign non-disclosure agreements. Anytime you sign an NDA, you're saying in effect that give and take, you're going to give me something, and in return, I'm going to sign this and never say anything about it. This
is the problem I have with this.
What is your problem?
This is not Ecuador. Okay. This is the United States of America. Why the government allows for these things to take place in this country? When you said California, I thought there was California in Ecuador. And second, how can somebody go dig on the property and go so low down? What does this belong to? Does this?
But it's not. They're not only going down, but they're going sideways. They go down and then they drill horizontally.
Who
into
does
the
that
land.
place belong to? Here, I think in some states you can even dig for your garden. If you start digging for a garden, they call you. You gotta call. Why are you digging?
No, I don't know.
I understand what you're saying.
You can't dig more than a garden.
Here's the thing.
What?
You live in America. America,
yes.
Let's face it, guys, is a capitalistic country.
Right.
What that means is that show me the money.
And we're all guilty of it.
Okay? Show me the money. They produce products so you can give them the money. Okay? You need natural gas just like everybody else. Now, we used to import all our gas from Iraq, Iran, and all the rest of those Middle Eastern countries.
And China.
Okay? But then all of a sudden, we started saying, because we were fighting with Iraq and Iran and all the rest of that, we decided that we were going to use our own supplies. The problem with using our own supplies is that these people that own these oil companies have hog-tied us. They have hog-tied the
American consumer.
No, not the consumers. The what is the agency that looks over it? It's the EPA.
Environmental Protection
Right.
Agency.
They have hog-tied the EPA because if you research it, you'll find that Dick Cheney, our ex-vice president of the United States under George Bush, put out a bill, and that was signed into law, that they don't have to be accountable to anybody.
Really?
Okay. Yes. It's a law. They don't have to be accountable to anybody.
He was a nice guy.
And the EPA, when they did the board, like hell, this is the man who shot a guy, and then the guy he shot turned around and apologized to him, and he was a friend, and they were out hunting.
Okay, so back to the story.
No.
Before Christos does something else.
So anyway, Halliburton is the company. All you got to do is look up Halliburton and the EPA and fracking, and you'll get a whole eyeful of what Dick Cheney did to create some laws so that they could get away with a lot of stuff. But one of the main reasons why the EPA can't help these people is because they signed a non-disclosure. And if the EPA come to their house and try and ask them what's going on, they can't talk because they got a gag order.
Are you sure these people are from America? In Ohio living?
Well, you know what? Here's the problem. And
are they Americans or they came from?
It's the American problem. Everybody wants the money.
If somebody come to your place and tell you, sign a gag order, don't they have a
lawyer
offer
or something? Money. You go to a small town where they don't have a whole lot of, the economy is poor. The farms are all struggling. Farmers are struggling across this nation. And so what they do is they go to these small farmers and they offer them a little money and tell them they don't have to do anything, just sign this away, and then you'll get royalties and this. And they're like, oh, we can pay some bills and that. Yeah, they do entice us with money, but here's the thing, maybe, and I'm just being devil's advocate here, maybe they really didn't understand that the non-disclosure agreement meant that they can never, ever, ever talk about it.
But
it's a possibility.
Yes,
I'm
but
just
that's
saying.
not just that, though.
Well, I look at it from this perspective. If somebody hand you some papers to sign, a big corporation to sign, first of all, they already screwed you. Now, you already been screwed because they only give you $2,500 plus royalty for each well. If they give you some more papers to sign, it is time to put these on and get to doing this. Reading.
It's
no.
Fine print.
I agree.
You need to read. You need to read what these people.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that they understood everything that they signed.
I understand, but that's why they got attorneys. That's why they got attorneys.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, please.
Do we have there is a saying in Europe. I don't know if we have the same saying here. Correct me if I'm wrong, my friend.
Feel free.
The saying goes like this. Your signature and your thing, you got to know where you put it. Okay? Anytime you want to put your thing somewhere and you signature, triple check it, my friends.
Okay, so here's the other thing. Even with all that being said, these people they didn't think, it's an Erin Brockovich moment. They didn't consider that this stuff could get into their water and poison them. And that's their problem. They should have considered that. Because Erin Brockovich, what she did was she opened a huge can of worms of what big corporation can do to people in small towns just by signing one little piece of paper or not saying anything. You know, you gotta say, there's this huge factory going up in our town. What is it doing? And people don't say nothing. They just watch it go up.
Here's the problem. These people were sick already. They were getting sick already. When this woman said she was experiencing headaches and she started telling them about headaches she's having, this persistent headache that wasn't going anywhere. And then other people experiencing breathing problems and aches and pains and all these different things. You're already sick. You're already sick. So the problem here is that why would you sign something that limits your ability and your recourse to someone who
if something goes wrong.
Just mistreated
and it's
you.
not like fracking is a new thing. It's been going on for what, 60 years?
But it's been going on.
Oh gosh, yes.
No, fracking has been going on since the 50s.
That's a long time.
And not only has it been going on since the 50s, the problem with fracking is that in the last decade, they've changed the method in which they frack now. And, because they changed the method, that's why it is causing all this havoc. And the people who are doing it, and they're doing it all over the world, believe me.
They shouldn't be doing it.
Because they're doing it They're doing it in South Africa. They're doing it in Europe.
They should not be bothering with
I'm
money.
telling you.
Of course they shouldn't be doing it, but the fact of the matter is, in America, they're getting away with doing it by paying people off. I don't think that they're even using the same kind of recourse that they're using in other countries.
Like
So guys, wait a minute. Let's switch off of fracking. We can talk about that a little bit later because we only have a few minutes on the show.
Let's do it.
True story.
So let's get to our next story.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one is, Joe, you want to take it?
Well, I'm talking about civil liberties.
That's my favorite topic. Besides the ladies gain weight.
Well, in particular, I want to talk about this young man. He's 24 years old. His name is Ramad Chapman, and he's been sentenced to prison for 7 years for not being guilty.
Yes,
he was found.
Now, this is a guy who had a prior
conviction.
Let me give given probation for a prior conviction.
Okay,
correct.
I'm gonna just give the short end of it is he was arrested back I think it was like in 2001, and he was arrested for stealing a television. It cost $120, and the judge my story said it cost $120.
Okay.
All right, and this is according to the Independent, and they said it cost, and it was his first offense.
Okay.
All right, he stole a TV worth $120. It was his first offense. But because he was black, and I'm just being right here, he received 5 years probation for $120 theft.
So that's a conviction.
Right.
Anytime you get probation,
it was his first offense, and after that, so now he got a half a decade of probation for a $120 TV set. All right.
Okay.
So let's fast forward to just a few years. During his probation, he had
2012.
Right, but during his probation, 2014. But during his probation, he had all these things. He had to pay restitution, report to his probation officer, get a job. He became a model citizen.
That's good.
Right. So then in 2014, he read a story. Ramad Chapman, found out that while he was on probation, he was a suspect in another robbery. He found out that he was being accused of being a suspect in another robbery.
Okay. And
all right, while he was on probation. Now on probation, when you're on probation, according to the story, you have to submit your whereabouts to law enforcement officials monthly. They always have to know where you were. So Chapman said he was never arrested for the robbery. And according to him, he had no idea that he was a suspect. So in 2015, after he learned about it, he turned himself in. Because he was so very sure about his innocence. He knew he didn't do it, right? So he turned himself in just to prove to everybody, I'm innocent of what this happened. So then the judge decided, well, that's not enough. He wanted to make an example of him, so he sent him to jail. He put him in jail. So now he's trying to finish up his probation of 5 years because it's, just a couple of years shy of him being finished with his probation. And then the judge says
he was through with his probation.
No, according to the judge, he wanted to send Chapman to jail.
I understand the judge wanted to send him to jail, but when you look at something that occurred in even if it occurred in 2004.
Well, he was 19 when he stole the TV set.
Right.
And
and how old is he now?
Well, he's 24.
So that's 5 years.
Let's just go on. So Chapman offered to plead guilty to assault in exchange for having the armed robbery charge dropped, but the judge rejected that deal. Chapman wanted to enter an Alford plea, ALFORD, right? Which means the defendant pleads guilty but maintains his innocence, but the judge didn't want him to do that either. So Chapman went to trial. It turns out that during the trial, the police had no evidence for the case. They didn't have a weapon. They didn't recover any money. There was no video of him being in the store. In fact, the clerk that identified Chapman actually identified him a year after the robbery through a Facebook photo ID. But that was not enough for the judge. The judge still wanted him to go to jail, and so he did. The name of the judge, by the way, is Neidrach, Nidrak, Judge Nidrak. Jack Nidrak was the judge in this case. So he revoked Chapman's probation, sent him to jail, right?
So guys, here's the deal. This is beyond ridiculous.
Right. So even though at the trial he was found innocent, the judge still sentenced him to 7 years in prison.
That's what I call
7 years?
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's 7 years for being black.
Right. So
that's like 12 years of slave.
All right. So he was tried in 2012 for the TV, right? And right. Oh God! So now we flip to the second story about the young police officer. This woman.
So wait a minute. I want to comment on this.
Well,
don't be running.
No, go right ahead.
First of all, something has to be done about our penal justice system. The problem here is it's been privatized, and because it's been privatized, these judges get kickbacks from the penal system. And this is going to continue to happen. It's happening to black folks now. But trust me, everything that happens to us turns around and happens to everybody else. Trust me.
It does eventually filter into those lovely communities where
trust me.
All of your rights are not being stepped on, and you eventually start getting your rights stepped on.
Listen, just like the fracking.
Yeah.
These people can't even speak up, because they've signed their rights away. And so all I'm saying is we have to stand up and do something about this. This like I said, it ain't in your community right now. But trust me, just like the children shooting in school and killing up one another and all of that started in the black community. Nobody did anything about it.
So I have two dovetail stories that actually brings this whole civil liberties crap into perspective across the board, but not just black men and women or white men and women, but just men and women in general. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next part of the story is about Officer Betty Jo Shelby from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who shot an unarmed black man because she was afraid of him. She was tried by a jury of her peers and found not guilty.
That was just recently.
Yes.
And why he killed her?
Because she was afraid. She
killed him.
She said
she killed the unarmed black man. She said she was afraid only because she told him to get on the floor and he wouldn't.
Right. And apparently he moved and that scared the crap out of her.
Afraid. Why is she becoming a policewoman?
That's the same thing I said.
That was the same thing my son said. Why become a police officer if you're afraid?
If you I mean, something as simple as that. Or why didn't you just call for backup?
Become a nurse.
So the man who was shot, his name is Terrence Crutcher. He's 40 years old. And Officer Betty Jo Shelby is a 42-year-old white police officer holding a gun. Okay, so
the problem it's once again, and this is about race. I don't care how you want to, paraphrase it, phrase it. This is about race, okay? Because the guy who went to jail for 7 years was sentenced to 7 years by a white judge. The guy who was just killed because the police officer said she was afraid was killed by a white police officer. Next.
Go ahead.
So if this happened to a Mexican person,
I think it would still turn out the same way.
It still happens. It happens to Mexicans as well, but it don't happen to Mexicans or any other race as often as it happens to black people. This is something that's been happening ever since we've been in this country.
Maybe we should call the police officer and find out why she was afraid. Explain it to us, to the world.
Well, there's video. Well, that's what I was going to go. The prosecutors told jurors that Shelby overreacted. This is the prosecution, right? Not the defendant. They noted Crutcher had his hands in the air and wasn't combative, part of which was confirmed by police video taken from the dashboard camera and a helicopter that showed Crutcher walking away from Shelby, hands held above his head. So what was she afraid of?
And why was she acquitted? That's my question.
There you are. So
why was she acquitted?
Civil liberties working in the opposite for her, but the same as always for us.
Right.
Basically.
Right. So what's your next story, Joe?
The next story is about a pageant. A woman, this one is called Texas Police Chief under investigation for arresting a black pageant winner. And why? Winner. All right. So Texas Police Chief Carrie Cruz. Right?
When did this happen?
Just recently.
This story broke today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's been placed on administrative duty while outside organizations hired by the city investigate claims he called Carmen Ponder. Carmen Ponder, this woman, he called Carmen Ponder a black bitch. And had her arrested following a road rage incident.
He allegedly.
This story is coming.
Instigated.
This story is coming from the roots. Okay? So this is what happened. She said, and I'm just going to paraphrase a bunch of this. She said she was driving down the road. She was on her way to Walmart, and the car in front of her was driving erratically. It was stopping and starting, and so she signaled her like she was supposed to when she went around the car and went on about her business. She parked in a Walmart parking lot, got out of her vehicle, and was getting ready to go inside Walmart when the car that she went around pulled in the parking lot right behind her. Man got out of the car and asked her why did she do what she did. She said she paid no mind to what this man was saying to her because she really was just trying to do her business, right? She goes into Walmart, comes back out. The man is still there with the police officer. The police officer comes up to her and asks her, "Do you know who you've been talking to?" She said, "No." He said, "Well, this is the chief of police, Carrie Cruz, and he says that you owe him an apology for what you did." Now, being an intelligent black woman, and let's just be real clear, Carmen Pond is a Miss Texas U.S. ambassador, pageant winner. Carrie Cruz is a chief of police in Texas, so she doesn't know who he is, and he doesn't know who she is. But she's being told by this police officer that she has to apologize to this white man for something that she didn't do wrong. She signaled, went around him, went about her business. He stalked her, called the police on her, leveled false charges against her. She refused to apologize, and she was arrested and spent the night in jail.
And then he found out who she was, okay, and realized that he just wasn't messing with any old black woman. But this was a black woman who had some clout just like he did.
So this is what was happening on the road. Carrie Cruz was teaching his 14-year-old daughter how to drive a car.
The problem was, though, because he was teaching his 14-year-old daughter how to drive, she was driving kind of recklessly, because you know how teenagers are when they're trying to drive. Exactly. The car was stopping and starting. And Miss Ponder, is that her name?
Carmen
Ponder decided, well, okay, I'm not going to have an accident. I'll go around you.
Right.
She went around you and went on her merry way, pulled into the Walmart lot, and parked. And then she was confronted by not only the police chief, but then turned around, he called one of his policemen, and she was confronted by him, arrested, okay, and alleged that she assaulted him when it's actually the other way around.
So what she did was she filed a claim saying that she was driving behind a dangerous driver. Now the incident took place on May the 20th. The story broke today, and I got it out of the root just early this morning actually, because I was looking for something else to back up the rest of the story. she, the whole part of it is, according to the woman who wrote the story in the group, her opinion is, and I tend to agree, was that the father, Kerry Cruz, who had his 14-year-old daughter illegally teaching her how to drive.
Right, because nobody teaches anybody how to drive at 14.
Exactly. He was trying to prove to his daughter how much authority he had.
Yeah.
And this woman was paying no mind to him. She wasn't giving him place to become an idiot in front of his daughter or her. She walked away every time until she had no choice but to stand there and stand her ground, and she got arrested for
what it was a black woman in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, who defied a white man in the state of Texas who happened to be a police chief and a policeman. And believe you me, the South is still the South.
Yeah, it is.
Texas is still Texas, just like Oklahoma is the South, and Oklahoma is still Oklahoma. So the whole nut in the shell is that we as black people have to be a whole lot more careful than any other race in this country.
Especially women.
And that is sad. That is really sad. And they were saying, I was listening to something, it's really bad when I was listening to this guy that we did a thing on yesterday. Dr. Sabies was talking about when he was in Brazil. He said if you go to the census in Brazil, nobody says that they're black. And some people are as dark as Dr. Sabies. But nobody puts black on their certificate. Everybody is white. I mean, why is it so bad to be black?
It's not bad to be black.
Well, I'm not saying it is bad. I'm black. I don't feel as bad. But obviously, there are a lot of people out there who do. Because we get mistreated like triple time everybody else. Yes, we're a minority, but
that's the disparity in the company.
Yeah.
In this country, what you have is men are at the top, white men.
We're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to go back here. Matter of fact, we're not going to take a break. We're going to close out. We're going to say that we appreciate being here with you guys over here on Spreaker. But the time has just dwindled down really quickly. And so we understand that without you, there is no us. And Christos, would you like to say something right quick? And you got to make it quick.
Anything you need, like your fur and leather, your redesign, your cleaning, your storage time, just call us.
Christos Furs, $99 storage, and we got a clearance sale going on up in here, so you need to come on out and check us out in Westchester,
Illinois.
What's
baby.
the phone number, baby?
1708-562-3877.
All right.
And Joe, you want to do it real quickly?
Do what real quickly?
Tell them where to get you.
Oh, y'all can catch me anytime of the day at mamayaya.wixsite.com/website, or just check me out at www.jamaicafunkshow.com.
One-stop shop. And with that, if you don't know your fur, know your furrier.
Christos Fur.
So anyways, guys, thank you for being with us. Like I said, once again, without you, there is no us. God bless. Well, Iron.
Without you, thought everything would be fine. I saw nothing special about you, but still you were plaguing my mind. I used to take you for granted. You were the last name in my life. Presently you're the most wanted at the top of my line. And it was yesterday I saw you down the lane. You and my best friend. My heart felt the pain.